Welcome back. Well, the president of the Africa Export-Import Bank, Mr. Benedict Orama, has asked African countries to get out of their comfort zones of commodity resource and pursue rapid industrialization. This was part of the opening remarks of the Afrexim president and chairman today in Kigali, Rwanda. Mr. Orama tells delegates that Africa should stop chasing the elusive natural resource materials but learn global trade optimization adopted by Asia. Africa's share of the global trade is currently a paltry 3% of total, while intra-Africa trade at 15% is even far below 67% in Europe, 62% in Asia, and 48% among North American countries. The week-long 2017 annual meetings of the Cairo-based Afrexim Bank in Rwanda this week is focusing on the promotion of intra-Africa trade in the new world of nationalism and populism. And Libyas Oil says it has reduced its debt burden with proceeds from its rights issue for the first half of the year. The development is born out of a marginal increase in gross profit after the period, as well as higher output and an insurance payment. In a statement, the company explains a cut in its annual capital expenditure budget by another $100 million to $400 million as it looks to spend less across the business this year. Libyas Oil is expected to have trimmed net debt to $3.8 billion by half year, down from $4.6 billion in the first quarter. Gross profit for the period is also expected at $300 million, up from $200 million a year ago. Libya's oil production stands at about 935,000 barrels per day this week, after touching as high as 950,000 barrels per day late last week. The National Oil Corporation, which is targeting 1 million barrels per day by the end of July, received a boost this month when it reached an interim agreement with Germany's Wintershall to resume production amid a contract dispute. Libya, a member of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, has been exempted from OPEC-led supply curbs as it tries to revive its battered oil industry. The country had produced more than 1.6 million barrels per day before a 2011 uprising. Away from commodities matters, Ghana's government has asked the International Monetary Fund to push back the end date of its $918 million aid program from April 2018 to December 2018. The request is expected to lead to talks aimed at a revised deal to include more money and fresh targets for fiscal consolidation. Reports say any extension would further pressure investors that the new government of President Nana Akufo-Addo, which took power in January, is serious about restoring macroeconomic stability. IMF officials say they are open to extending the program. Now, the government has outlined an ambitious program that includes job creation through the private sector and rural development, pledging to build a factory in every district in order to restore the economy. And in the spirit of Seafarers' Day across the globe, merchant Navy officers in Nigeria are seizing the opportunity to dissect some of the issues impacting on their profession. At a meeting organized in commemoration of the day, officers paid attention on their welfare and the implementation of the Nigerian cabotage law.
Filipinos, Indians, Bangladeshi, everyone, they come to your company, they take your job. I've worked on company where even ordinary steward is a foreigner. And Captain Stella shared one experience with me. When a white man said Nigerian food is contaminating their food, and they took out the Nigerian food from the store, from the wet store, from the cold room, they take it to the forecastle deck so that it will not contaminate the foreigners' food. They kept it there and it is being wasted because they're in their own country, in Nigeria. That is this level of what we face. On my ship before conference, we were watching Nigeria versus Egypt. Somebody said they want to watch cricket. Cricket is not our game. They said they want to watch cricket. And we said Nigerians, we have about 70% Nigerians. We said we want to watch Nigeria versus Egypt. Then the person who is in charge in South Africa just gave this cricket and they changed it. in our waters. These are the things that happen. These are the things we face on a daily basis. The salary is low. Average goes in on some of these companies, £2,000 like that, $2,000 like that for their days. But our own, you see an officer earning $1,000. And your dollar, our dollar is 190. Our dollar at sea is 190 naira. I don't know if it is Canadian dollar or Ghana dollar, but it is 190. When dollar is 300 or something or 400 or something. So, full implementation. Okay, shipping companies. Most companies do not have strong capital base. They run shipping like a sugarcane business. Welfare is close to zero. All they are interested in is profit. Once they get bankrupt, they abandon the ship and crew with several months of unpaid salaries. Some of them resolve into illegal operations just to save their falling investment at the peril of the seafarer. Most of our colleagues have been denied justice, some jailed for as much as 12 years based on management misconduct, which is completely unfair to the seafarers. It was a pathetic scene on the 24th when we were at the prison. We have a very sound mind wasting at the prison. One of the prisoners said they were in the cell, not prison now, cell, police cell, for 1.5 years. And this was a problem between the ship owner and the charterer. And they have now been in the prison for 1.5 years again, awaiting trial. What is the reason for the thing? They said they were there together with their ship owner, of course. But they now tell them go and bring property in Lagos, the shorty, all those things. The ship owner just bring his own and they build themselves. Now the poor seafarers who do not have a landed property in Lagos, they are there for 1.5 years still wasting. There is another case of they have the license to carry AGU, but they carry VMS, a chartered vessel. At the end of the day, there was an issue on this, blah, 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 so many stories on that day. But they were sentenced to 12 years imprisonment by Justice Abang. And one of the seafarers mentioned to us on that day that they were mentioning, they were talking about some of these, they were quoting some innocent passage, coordinates, they were mentioning some certain terms. Then he was saying that what are those things?
And finally, South Africa's Treasury is in talks with local lenders to roll over 9 billion rand in debt this month for its struggling airline, South African Airways. The state-owned airline is reliant on government debt guarantees of almost 20 billion rand and has been cited as a threat to the economy by global rating agencies, downgrading the country's sovereign rating to junk. And that's it on the program. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimezie Obi. Welcome.